less, more or less. We have reduced eating to sitting alone and shoveling it in. Now this one here might get me in really big trouble. They're happy because they're eating lard. And he's got that big smile, look at him there. He's got the big glass of Malbec wine, and Mike is in like meat heaven. Now, notice the size of the vegetable. So I found this picture and sent it to him one day and said, I think I found the perfect wine glass for you. So at the beginning of the day, you might look a little bit like this. You're clinging on for dear life, thinking, oh man, I can't make it. I don't know if I'm ready for this day. And at the end of the day, you might look a little bit like this. And so here's what I think eating has to become, is it needs to become a non-negotiable. Because often the first thing to go as soon as we get busy is eating well and exercise. The two probably most important things in terms of coping with stress and keeping ourselves healthy and resilient. I do some writing for CBC National News online. I write a monthly column. And one of my tips said, ditch the cooking channel. And the purpose of why I say ditch the cooking channel and get over gourmet is that I think it intimidates most of us. A good solid meal doesn't have to take you more than 20 minutes to cook. And so if you look at that picture and you look at the guy on the very end there, that gentleman was 77. I took the picture. He was above me, progressing up that slope faster than myself. And so if you think, oh man, this is what aging has to look like, and you're dragging your butt into work every day, or you're feeling like you just don't have the health and stamina that you want, you can choose that. If your family has 3, 4, or 5 meals per week together, your kid is 50% less likely to abuse alcohol and drugs. We also see that if your family is eating together, you have decreased prevalence of being overweight, and your kids growing up overweight, and also decreased risk of things like eating disorders, anorexia, bulimia, and unhealthy weight control practices that are so prevalent that I see day to day in my practice as a dietitian. If you were going to have a head made out of anything, Mr. Potato Head had it right. Because our brain runs exclusively on carbohydrate. It will never run on protein, never has, never will. So what Mick Jagger actually meant when he was singing the song, I Can't Get No Satisfaction, was that he was on a low-carb diet. And he was really looking for some energy. So how many gorgers do we have in the room? Anyone? Okay, yeah. All right. How many grazers do we have in the room? Okay. And some of you are like, I don't know, I'm kind of in between. Sure. Now I want to ask you, which one is actually best when it comes to nutritional health? If you think that maybe eating like a gorger would be preferred, raise your hand. What about how many people would say a grazer would be preferred? Okay. I'm going to challenge you to think about the fact that both of them could be correct. So let's take a little vote here. So how many people would consider, if you had to pick your favorite part of supper, would you be considered a carb junkie? Yeah. Woo! Okay, we got some carb junkies in the room. What about the protein people, the meatitarians? I heard a little woo. There was a couple of the guys. Sure. What about C? Any veggie heads in the crowd? Okay, I'm always impressed by the veggie heads. I sincerely wish I could pick that one. And what about D? Oh, I'm in good company with fellow chocoholics tonight. So if you ate anything, I'm going to give you 2 points. This means if you were in the coffee room earlier today and there was like a dried up Nanaimo bar from a week ago and you ate that, I'm still going to give you points. Because you kick-started the metabolism. Doesn't matter what it is. I also had a gentleman that saw me for some nutrition counseling to lose some weight. He was a 6-foot-tall guy with a big beer belly. And we were talking about his cereal bowl. And he said, no, I eat a cup of cereal. So I said, well, go home and just measure it out and see. And so I get this email. And the email says, that 1 cup is not very big. Period. Eat here and get gas. I saw this sign and thought that was one of the funniest things I had come across in a while. So that message of health without guilt or complexity really is something that is the only way I know how to teach people when it comes to nutrition. So often people try to change the one thing that they love the most. And it's like if you keep that and make changes around it elsewhere, it's so much easier.